Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice thing.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene Edwards. You are watching Lubed. This is my game review for the Edmonton Oilers at the New York Islanders at the UBS Arena on November 23rd, 2022, as the Edmonton Oilers fall 3-0 to the New York Islanders and have had another tough night. Props to the goaltender of the New York Islanders, Ilya Sorokin, stopping all 49 shots that he faced, and there were some difficult ones in there. So he had an incredible night. Nothing was getting past him. But there's still some issues with this team, and now there's issues starting to pile on to the issues, and we'll get into the power play very shortly. But the Edmonton Oilers started off again slow. In the first 10 minutes, it was 6-1 for the New York Islanders. And then they start like revving up the engine and start going, and then they started playing good. I think the shots were even by the end of the first period. But yeah, they're like they're like trying to start an old Ford in the middle of winter in Edmonton. It just takes forever for this team to warm up. But they finally did, and they peppered Sorokin with a lot of shots. There's no question. He just had one of those nights where nothing was going to get by him. Hyman had some good looks, so I'm going to give him props. I'm also going to give props to Jack Campbell. He went in with a busted nose, and he actually played a pretty decent game. I wouldn't say a spectacular game, but I would not say that he was a factor in the loss at all. He made some pretty good saves. There was a near penalty shot in the first period as a New York Islander player he kind of patted the puck underneath Sorokin, but then at the very last second, it almost appeared that his glove was actually over top of the puck. However, it didn't turn into a penalty shot, and if it did, I really don't think the Oilers would have scored on him. Sorokin was just on fire tonight. Yeah, the only goals that happened were in the second period. I'm going to go over the scoring summary shortly. But now the Edmonton Oilers, we're going to go over the standings real quick right now. They are 10th in the West. They're in a four-way tie with three Central Division teams, that being St. Louis, Minnesota, and Nashville. 1 point back at Calgary. I hate saying that. And 13 points back of Vegas. And currently not in a playoff bracket if the playoffs started today. Very concerned. What happened to the power play? This is a power play that I think I was saying even as early as last week that they are second in the league on the power play. Well, I'll tell you what. They had 5 power play chances last night. They were 0 for 5. And the butt kicker of it all is they let in a shorthanded goal as well. Yeah, don't know what to say. Okay, let's go into the scoring summary here. Let me just bring it back up. All of which was in the second period. Jean-Gabriel Pageau gets the first 2 goals of the game, scoring the shorthanded one and scoring a power play for the Islanders. So his special teams was amazing. And then Sebastian Aho gets the third and final goal. Like I say, all the goals happened in the second period. No first period goals, no third period goals. 3-0 is your final for the for the New York Islanders. And that's the tale of the tape. we will go into the X factors of the game.
They wanted. Rangers having trouble changing here. McDavid, beautiful move.
Okay, so my first X factor is usually going to be the guy that scores the goals or the person who scores the most goals or gets the most points. And it applies to tonight as Jean-Gabriel Pageau of the New York Islanders getting the first 2 goals is my first X factor for the night. My second X factor for tonight is what happened to the amazing power play of the Edmonton Oilers. The power play that was second in the league was not there at all. And this was a concern for me because it was sloppy. They couldn't get anything going. Tyson Barrie gives up the one puck that led to the shorthanded goal. It was just anything but pretty. And of course, I'm going to give the third, which is usually the most important X factor of the night, Ilya Sorokin. 49 saves, perfect shutout, excellent game on his part. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I was a little concerned looking at McDavid's face as they panned the camera over to the bench there. There was quite the disgusted look, and actually that is on my thumbnail, is him kind of closing his eyes in disbelief. Hopefully we're not going into another December of darkness like we had last year, and hopefully the Oilers can pull out of this. So I put up a Twitter question. Now, my Twitter handle is Lubed Hockey, at Lubed Hockey. I do plan on changing it because it's just kind of silly to have Lubed Hockey at Lubed Hockey, but somehow it worked out that way. The question I gave you guys, and you guys have 28 hours more to vote on. Right now, there's just a couple of votes. Actually, just one vote right now. And the question I asked you guys is, who of the following Edmonton Oilers are missing the most? The result will be posted in the weekend's Lube upcoming weekly preview. So I will post these results on Saturday when I do next week's preview. The options are Evander Kane, Duncan Keith, Kyler Yamamoto, or Mike Smith. Who do you think is the X factor of this season not going exactly like last season, or like I shouldn't say last season because it had its problems too, but like last spring when everything was all roses in the beautiful Edmonton Oiler garden. Yeah, which of those players do you think the Oilers are missing the most? Is it Duncan Keith's calmness and maybe his locker room banter that helped? Is it the fact that Evander Kane bringing that toughness, grit, and scoring? Is it Kyler Yamamoto that brings a little bit of that edge too? Or is it Mike Smith, his seniority and his firepower and his amazing passes that he does to the players? So, yeah, go ahead and vote. Lubed Hockey at Lubed Hockey at Twitter. Until then, guys, I will see you Saturday. I will do my review. I don't know how this weekend's going to play out because there is the early game Saturday. I got to do a review. I got to do that preview as well. So there's a bunch on the go for this weekend. And I will get to it. I just don't know exactly when I will release the videos. But until then, guys, as always, stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated. We will talk soon.
Tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite, they feeling.